Ryujin CEO is no joke.
Good. You're right on time. I evaluated all the evidence. It took every resource I had, but the final answer is clear. Ularu is the mole.
The truth is worth the work.
Yes. You made them. I've briefed Masako and discussed her plans on handling this. While we both agree Ularu is guilty, we need irrefutable evidence before presenting this to the board. For now, we lead everyone to believe that Imogene was the mole, and the situation was dealt with.
So we're okay with wrecking Imogene's life, self-esteem, and career if it's just for a short time. That's what you're saying our plan is, right?
I agree. But others may see the decision as irrational without adequate proof. Masako has tasked Ularu with writing the program to bring down Infinity LTD. We believe she'll take the chance to incriminate Masako within the program. So this could provide the evidence we're looking for. You will be tasked with the assignment to infiltrate Infinity. So before you go, I want you to bring that program to me. Good. Once Ularu believes she's properly deflected any suspicion, I've no doubt she'll be bold enough to hide something within whatever program she writes. Now, let's attend a meeting. We called you all together to discuss a recent security breach. We discovered a mole within the company who leaked vital information about Project Dominion to Infinity LTD.
You've got to be kidding me.
Just don't tell me it's Vina. I think we've all noticed she's not here.
Before you speculate any further, no, it's not Vina. The guilty party is Imogene Salzo, much to my disappointment. Our operative here obtained the evidence to confirm it.
Dalton, how does something like this happen?
Imogene is highly trained. Ularu can even speak to that. We demand the best. So that's the threat we deal with.
I may have well-trained operatives, but security is your responsibility, Dalton. This is a huge failing on your part.
I accept the responsibility, but let's not forget, the mole has already been exposed and dealt with.
Of course, thanks to another of my operatives. Watch me.
Imogene's been dealt with, so bickering is pointless. All I care about is reacquiring our property and what this might be costing us financially.
Vina is completing the internal neuroamp prototype as we speak. Our operative will receive the implant, infiltrate Infinity LTD, and obtain any and all research. I have it on good authority. The experimentations they've done to replicate the missing pieces of our work have resulted in fatalities.
Botched human trials and murder for hire? You don't bounce back from that. At least not with Infinity's legal team.
If I may make a suggestion, we should give this evidence to David at SSNN. It's the best neutral method of releasing this information to the general public.
That'd make my job easier.
David it is, then.
Misako, the internal neuroamp is ready if you want to send down the candidate.
I hope you're ready for this. Good. I can tell Vina is going to enjoy working with you. Vina will be waiting for you in the neuroamp division in R&D. Once you're done, meet me in my office. Be ready to discuss the details of your next assignment.
Got my eye on you.
I'm keeping my
Are you sure you're okay?
Ryujin's brand goes into everything they do. Even the plants in their thing takes away autonomy by design. The science is intriguing.
Here's
but
my
the
lucky
risks
candidate.
are
I
terrifying.
hope you're ready to embark on one amazing journey. Hey, we may not like the options, but we all have choices. Now, just a few details before we begin. Obviously, we'll be putting you under. I'll be making a small incision in the back of your skull where the internal neuroamp will be fitted. The whole procedure should only take 3 to 4 hours with little to no downtime afterwards, provided DeMarcus got everything entered correctly.
Did I not just say I quadruple-checked the number?
You know I'm just giving you a hard time. Besides, I've got to make sure my patient is reassured. Fine, fine. I get it. Now, just lie down on the table once you're ready, and we...
It's your brain. Do what you want with it. But if you wake up and suddenly have the urge to annihilate all humans...
All right, let's get this party started. Well, well, look who's finally up. The operation was a success, obviously. Once you're able to refocus, let me know how you're doing. So, how are you feeling? You look good? That's exactly what we want. Just a couple quick notes before using the internal neuroamp. First, you can only influence one person at a time. And second, the effect is temporary, so be prepared if you use it in a combat situation. Great. Now let's test this sucker out. DeMarcus has graciously volunteered for science, he says. That's the spirit. DeMarcus loves being hands-on and experiencing things on his own. It's probably why he's the second most published scientist here, after me. Just head up the stairs nearby to the observation deck.
I have performed a cursory scan of your vital signs.
Hey, welcome to R&D.
Can't get anything done around here without running into red tape.
I'm on my 12th iteration of this design. I have a good feeling about this one.
technology.
Oh my god, that was incredible. What was it like?
Wow. How to describe it? 1 minute I was excited about seeing how the experiment would go. The next, I had a brief moment of disorientation and figured I must have lost my train of thought. It felt eerily natural. And yes, I admit it, just as you predicted.
I knew it, I knew it, I knew it! I can hardly wait to finish writing up my latest dissertation. And you owe me 100 creds.
I'll be keeping myself under constant surveillance now. I'm curious if any other side effects may manifest.
So, tell me all about it. How did it feel? Any side effects? Yes. Good. Hear that, DeMarcus? That's 2 for 2 now.
I heard. It really was fascinating how all I experienced was a moment of disorientation. It's truly remarkable tech. Not at all. But I can imagine if I experienced disorientation like that, but regained my awareness in another room, it could be a bit jarring. We'll definitely be running some more tests in the future, though. Those are the kind of edge cases that I let the board work out. Obviously, tech like this is going to come with its fair share of red tape. When it comes to your job, besides, the neural isn't total control. If a subject's morals or beliefs in something are strong enough, we still see points of failure. That being said, it's been interesting to discover the actions are
Okay. As much as I'd love to go over the details and potential of this amazing piece of technology I created, Masako wants to see you. It sounds like you have an assignment to complete, and DeMarcus and I have a lot of notes to record.
Didn't Vina say Masako wants to see you?
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
They know how to make a client feel welcome.
I wasn't sure how accurate Vina's promise of no downtime was going to be. Now that you've been outfitted with the internal neural, we're sending you into Infinity LTD. Lucas Drexler is about to learn exactly why you don't steal from Ryujin Industries. And wish he shall, every day, while he rots away in prison. All right, Yuko has provided a layout of Infinity LTD. You have 2 options for this assignment. We'll be providing you with the means for both. Option A, you gain entry through their maintenance access on the roof. Option B, we give you an assigned identity and arrange a meeting for you. Of course not. The meeting is just a legitimate way in. Once inside, you'll be led to a waiting room where your host will be running late. That's your opportunity to make your way to either the executive floor or R&D. Just hope those acting skills don't get you caught or killed. Now, depending on your preference, you'll either find yourself in the maintenance hallway or the marketing department. From there, you have 3 targets. First, you have Lucas Drexler's computer, located in his office on the executive floor. Second is Faye Sengsavan's computer, in research and development. And third, you need to obtain the prototype they are working on, also in R&D.
As you can see, you've several floors to traverse. So I hope you're prepared for an adventure.
Nothing a good operative can't manage. Now, I had Ularu create a program that you need to run on both Lucas and Faye's computers. I'll let her...
You see, once we expose Infinity LTD, all of their data is going to come under intense scrutiny. We only want the public to know about their mercenary hires and unauthorized human trials, but Project Dominion needs to remain confidential. I've created an overseer program that will gather all the evidence we need, and at the same time delete anything relating to Ryujin and the internal neuroamp. Exactly.
This is why I prefer...
If the media were to draw their own conclusions, I'm certain they'd just create a panic among people. Controlling the narrative is of the utmost importance.
Now that's an idea I can get behind.
No, we don't want to mess on this one. A body count will only distract from what we're trying to accomplish here. In fact, unless they're a master at being one with the shadows, I'd suggest you leave your friend behind. Lower the risk. Simon Rychek provided some useful info on how to evacuate civilians from the building. I'm sure you remember him from Sidonia. Infinity's maintenance crew is understaffed. It's only a matter of time before pressure gauges go unchecked and they have a massive issue on their hands. Once that pressure becomes too much, every floor in the building is going to suffer from gas leaks, setting off an automated alarm to evacuate the building. Simon was able to get a passcode for you to access their system's computer, so you can force the heating system to fail. My thoughts exactly. We're also issuing you an operative suit. It should help reduce their ability to detect you. These suits are typically reserved for the senior ranks, but we want to reduce as much risk as possible. Just make sure you follow through on that statement.
Once you've run the Overseer program and obtained the prototype, your final step is to deliver the slate to David Barron at the SSNN field office. If he asks questions, feel free to give him just enough information to pique his interest, but no mention of Ryujin or who you are. SSNN is used to anonymous tips. They'll do whatever verifications they deem. It certainly will. So, any final questions before you go? Good luck, and be sure to report directly back to me when you return.
Here's Simon's passcode, your operative suit, the Overseer program, and your cover identity. Your cover ID card is encoded with roof entry and elevator access, so that's your ticket in, either way. Don't screw this up. Skylar Lumen?
Don't cause any trouble.
I hate waiting. It's just more time to doubt myself.
You don't have anything less valuable to get rid of instead?
I've been waiting here for ages.
My career will be over.
You have the program. I'm certain Ularu won't pass up this opportunity. So, let's take a look. Aha! The decryption's hit a snag. There's definitely something here. This is exactly what we needed. According to this code, Ularu intended to plant false evidence that would show Masako was working with Lucas. The moment you launched the Overseer program, a series of fabricated communication files would have been uploaded to the Infinity LTD network. One of them even frames Masako for encouraging Lucas to push for early human trials.
I'm shocked.
I'm going to copy the necessary files off this slate and issue you a new one. I want to keep this one intact, so Ularu can't dispute it. All right. Now, we finally have the evidence we need to prove Ularu's guilt.
Good. The sooner I can forget about her and all this mess, the better.
Yes, I'm looking forward to putting this all behind us. Without that falsified evidence, Ularu is in for a big surprise. I fully expect she'll be eagerly awaiting SSNN's broadcast, anticipating Masako to be accused alongside Lucas Drexler. Here's the new slate with the revised Overseer program. Let's get this assignment finished the right way.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
When a settlement looks so peaceful and secure, it starts to become a target. I guess that's why New Atlantis and even Sidonia have as much security as they do. get out there and do something new today, shall we? Here? Gotcha.
If you don't see what you want, feel free to. If it belongs on your ship, oh, please, take a look. Thanks for shopping at Jemison Mercantile.
All hands aboard were dead, and the sign went to
have our table ready, sir. Can we run through it one more time?
You can over-rehearse. It'll sound canned.
must evacuate the building. Please find the nearest exit and contact emergency services.
I hope I'm as cool as Solomon Coe when I grow up.
You can't go in. You just can't.
But David's
Administrations
my
come
friend.
and
He
go in
writes
the big
me.
city, but
I hate to break it
SSNN
to you, but his
is here to
PA is
stay.
the one who signs all those
Can I help you?
Mr. Barron's a very busy and important man.
But I came all this way.
Listen, I might be able to hook you up with
Is that so? Spoken like a true tabloid reporter. What's this so-called story about? Intriguing. Anytime we get a news story like this, they always lack the evidence to back it up. Good. The less investigation we need to put into this, the faster I can prepare the broadcast. I don't suppose you want to tell me how you got this evidence. Of course. I just hope your source is as reliable as you think they are. Is there at least a name I can cite as my source? Why am I not surprised? As long as the evidence is adequate and verifiable, I expect it'll be aired within the hour, if not sooner. Now, if you'll excuse me, I obviously have some work to do.
Don't make me jump.
I believe you were specifically told that we did not want a body count on this assignment. A poor excuse. All the tools at your disposal, and yet here we are. I hope you at least attempted to use the internal neuroamp. And yet not useful enough to avoid a body count? Still, it's good to know the applications are proving themselves. So now it's just a waiting game for SSNN to break the news. Once the story airs, we have another board meeting scheduled to decide how to handle Infinity. Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
The murders are believed to be linked to a new investigation where Drexler would have been accused of numerous violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself and the competitor have yet to be confirmed. This has been David Barrett for SSNN.
Perfect. This exposure puts Infinity right where we want them. The meeting will begin momentarily, but I want you to discuss the options we have with the other members. Infinity's net worth is about to hit rock bottom. So this gives us the opportunity to win a little more public faith. Quite right. The truth is, we'll be making evaluations. We'll shed any employees who don't make the cut, slowly but surely. By incorporating Infinity, we eliminate a competitor, get their best employees and contracts, and all while boosting our public perception. I'm glad we're on the same page. Which is why I'd like you to talk to the board to convince them this is the right move. There are several who might disagree, and you have the perfect tool to help sway them. With the tech we've given you, you'll find most of the board members in their offices preparing. Vina is also here, waiting for the meeting to start. We'll need at least 50% of the vote to go our way. In the event of a tie, I will make the final decision. I trust you'll get it done.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity LTD? I think we both know that's not going to work. Our public perception is good enough. If you ask me, reaching out to save Infinity just makes us look weak. The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished. Oh? Your response tells me Masako must have given you similar advice. It'd be unlike her to not fully explore. Well, it does make Ryujin look good. And we do gain a wider customer base, which means higher profits. You're oddly right about this one, Op. I guess you are worth keeping around. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting. You and me both. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
You operatives really will wear anything. Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available. I don't care about your qualifications. I'm only interested in your opinions based on your first-hand experience. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity LTD throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why? Oh, I didn't mean in regards to Drexler's actions. More in the sense of, should a superior company like Ryujin make room for so many potentially lackluster employees? This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to match our salary offers. Getting what few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically pay here could have major payoffs in the long run. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation? And why do you feel it was well handled? Please note I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know the why behind your statement. Being prepared for anything is a great asset, one that Masako excels at. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been. Were you going to say something? It's the next big step for Ryujin Industries. Financially, it'll keep us secure for years to come. There's no doubt it's our future. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
I hope you're enjoying your new neuroamp.
Is Masako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side? In this business, there's always a side. And right now, I'm backing Masako. We just need to grab Infinity LTD while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light. I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year. Well, you have my attention. Don't I know it? I think Alexis and I are truly gonna have our work cut out for one another. We'll discuss security ramifications with Dalton, and I'm sure there are alterations, safety nets, if you will, that we'll need from Vina. It's sure to be quite the undertaking. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
If only there were more hours in the day. Great, the bane of my department. If you need something, make it quick. You heard correct. I've every reason to believe that Infinity LTD is the Pandora's box of corporations. All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset. I see what you're doing. And I suppose it's working. A little. That's a decent argument. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom. Are you trying to add to my stress right now? First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's... Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person... Masako's lucky to have you at her disposal, even if you are a continual thorn in my side. You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful, but now I really do need to get back to...
This meeting should prove to be very interesting. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome. That's because you're the one with the tool to do it. As long as Masako has the internal neuroamp on her side. If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk. Completely. I understand the success it can bring for the corporation, but my only concern here is security. It's not that the board majority fails to see the dangers. It's that they believe we can overcome them. That hubris could easily bring this corporation down one day. I only hope it won't be on my watch. You read my mind. Let's just hope Masako and the... Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity LTD, we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I wanted... I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity... I only hope that Masako... Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
It's good to see you again. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory. That's great. I'd say Project Dominion is ready for legitimate human trials in that case. One step closer to seeing market approval. Genevieve is going to be... So, tell me what you think of the neuroamp. I hope you're not actually suggesting that the technology I spent years working on and perfecting never sees the light of day. This is groundbreaking work. My life's work. I didn't get into science and engineering to have moral debates with myself. I got into it for the discoveries, and to share those discoveries with the galaxy. I leave it up to everyone else to determine what... So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity LTD be? Exactly. Not that I want to gloat over it. Maybe just a little. Okay. So, DeMarcus and I have really been looking forward to it, so fingers crossed this deal goes... Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity LTD's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial. and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity LTD.
Believe it or not, I agree. The acquisition has risks, and it's going to create a lot of work for all of us. But the overall payoff will be worth it.
That and Infinity LTD's current situation makes them more affordable than ever.
Arguments? None? Excellent. Moving on, then.
I think what we're all overlooking is what led us to this situation to begin with. Yes, our security was compromised. But considering Dalton was hired by Masako, the issue obviously starts at the top. In fact, I propose that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity LTD?
Aye.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up? Well? Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
At least if you're here, you're not screwing up out there.
I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today.
So, Infinity LTD learned a lesson the hard way, and we exposed the traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin. I suppose it is. Gratitude isn't something you typically hear these days in the corporate world. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time. I hope that enthusiasm sticks with you for the foreseeable future. Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it. It's well deserved. As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you.